I don't know how to turn this on.
You don't know how to turn it on?
Yeah, I don't know how to record.
You just push the big red button. You're lying, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you
We're recording. Of course we're recording.
Okay, well, last time I was looking at this thing, making sure it's okay.
Last time you scared me.
Yeah, that part was sick.
You know what's interesting? This technically feels more like this is the first episode. And I'll explain.
Yeah, explain why I silence my phone. I gotta silence DK. Make sure.
By the way, I'm gonna use sign language really quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I locked him up.
You locked him in his cage?
Yeah, he's good.
We don't want him out again.
No.
Talking about Donkey Kong.
Always interrupting our stories.
So, what I was gonna say is, you and I have kind of jokingly phrased the first 5 episodes that were on ChrisCrossMedia as Season 0.
Season 0, yep.
And the first episode we had on this channel, which was last week, episode 6, to me was more like an introductory video, because we're talking a little bit more of like what this is all about, and
yeah, it felt like
different topics.
It felt like a rebirth. You know, it's an episode that's like in limbo.
It's technically, right?
Yeah, like it's technically episode 1. I mean, we can call it episode 1 of that season, but this is really episode 1 right here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to everyone in Spotify. Welcome.
Oh yeah, Spotify game.
Yeah, man.
The
Shout out to everybody
over
on
at Spotify.
You guys are getting audio only here, and soon on YouTube, when we reach 1 million subscribers, we're gonna get video on there as well.
No, okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I like to reach for the stars, just like anybody else. That's a little. That was a little
too much.
Look, I'm not saying. You know, what'd be really great is one day, hypothetically, we pass that milestone and we clip this part.
Yeah.
And they're just, look at us, you know, we're so pie-eyed and had no idea what we're doing. But no. I think, I will say, we do have plans and have had discussions about creating this to be more visual in terms of us being on camera.
Yeah, man, they gotta see our outfits.
And
right now you're
wearing nothing.
Right now you're dripping swagoo. Like you're dripping swagoo, man. You got that nice hat on. Woo. Got the tats on.
All right.
You ain't wearing pants, but those boxers, you know. No,
wow.
No,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We'll get there eventually, though.
But what I'm saying is, we have an idea of how we want everything set up. We have an idea for how we want to set up the attic visually for everybody. But we think that it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get the equipment right, to get the software situated, and to do it properly, and to make it as nice and visual as possible for you all.
Yes.
So, with that and everything that's involved, we want to set like a benchmark, and that might be something we announce at another time. But, this is a new territory for us. It's exciting.
There's levels to it,
Yeah.
Goku didn't turn Super Saiyan right away.
No.
He had to go through Kaioken. So right now, this is us going through Kaioken right now. So, damn, I got a little stuffy nose. I hope the mic's not catching it.
So why are you sick?
I don't know, dude. Maybe you got me sick.
I was feeling a little weird.
Yeah, you were sick. You were just recently sick.
I got what they call it is the con flu.
Yeah,
what's
the con flu? Is that like you're a convict, or what? You killed somebody and you got sick?
No. So we were talking in the last episode. We went to VidCon. We were helping out at VidCon, and you're on your feet for long hours. You're waking up super early, staying up super late. You're exposed to the elements of hundreds of thousands of people. And, your immune system kind of drops usually after a convention. So that's what they call the con flu. Mm. So, I didn't go to the doctor or anything, but I was extremely exhausted. I was shaking. I had the chills for a day.
When you texted me that you had the con flu, I thought of it like in Spanish, because like con is with. So when I like con flu, you're saying like con flu, like I got flu. I'm sick con the flu.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant first. Like, I thought you were just sick with the flu.
So all of a sudden, I started texting you in Spanish?
I was like, well, how does it? I'm like, You were like, estoy enfermo con flu. I'm like, what? This guy knows Spanish all of a sudden? Sí, señor. Sí, I have the con flu. and off topic, bro. Off topic, that's how we also say cornflakes, bro. Growing up, my mom would always say cornflakes. Cornflakes. With C-O-N flakes. Wait, go back to tell your sick story.
My story doesn't even matter. Can you tell?
My story's done.
You're done. I don't want it anymore. I want to hear this one.
Oh, man.
Can you please tell everybody in the attic the story
about
your uncle?
Oh, my uncle.
Yes.
Oh, my uncle.
Wait, where'd you think I was going?
Oh, wait, what did my uncle do?
Well, I'll get there in a second. Okay. What did you think I was?
Oh, I thought you were going to when we were at Star Wars, since we talked about Star Wars last episode.
Oh, the note?
Yeah, the note. But that's like a perfect example.
It is. All right.
But my uncle... Okay, which story?
We're going to do the uncle, then we have to tell that story.
Okay.
And what's awesome is that's actually documented. Again, I'm going to talk about it.
Hey, we got to put a card.
In the Star Wars...
For the YouTube viewers. Got to put up a card on the top right.
Our Star Wars celebration vlogs from 2010.
Up over there.
We were young. We hadn't experienced life at all. We were so pie-eyed. We had the whole... You know, it was...
We're so innocent.
Yes. Exactly. All right. The Jesus crazy that story. Oh! Tell that story, because to this day I say that but all the time.
I mean, he says it in different like places, you know.
Explain it though.
Yeah, so this is my uncle. His name's Martin. Martin.
Okay.
You heard the joke, Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh.
Martin.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, my tío Martin, you know, I think he's actually in the States right now, but he's one of my dad's older brothers, and he was like an all-star second baseman, baseball player, and he used to live here when I was younger, and then he moved back to Mexico and made his life, and now he just kind of travels whenever there's any like weddings, quinceañeras, stuff like that. But my tío Martin, you know, he always like prided himself in learning the English language. A lot of my dad's like siblings, brothers and sisters, like, you know, just being in the Chicagoland area, a lot of Hispanics around, learning English was not really a priority if they didn't really want to. And I think that is still the same to this day for, you know, a lot of these Spanish speaking communities here in the US. But my uncle Martin, mi tío Martin, something he picked up is he'll be like, whenever something crazy happens, he'll be like instead of saying Jesus Christ, like Jesus Christ, you know? He translated it to like Jesus Christ. Like, he thought they were saying like Jesus crazy, you know? Like Jesus is crazy. So anytime even like if a ball, like today we just came back from a baseball game today, actually. Shout out to the Chicago White Sox who beat the Anaheim Angels. But you know, he'll be at second base and let's say like a line drive just got just kind of like we almost saw it today. Someone got their head ripped off. Yeah. But he'll be like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" The ball, like, but dude, this guy was a Gold Glover. He'd say that, but at the time he'd catch it. You know, he'd turn a triple play to end the inning. But yeah, dude, my tío Martin, he's definitely one of the funniest, if not the funniest brother in the Mata family. You know, I'd say my dad's up there in the top 3 of his brothers in comedy and baseball and all that. And shout out to my tío Nicho as well. Legendario in the baseball game, comedy game. But my tío Martin, man, he's a gem. I hope I don't think you've ever met him.
No, I probably haven't.
But he's here. Like, he was here at the wedding I was at.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he comes a lot. So I'm sure.
What I was gonna say is, that's like one of the early. I don't know if it's the earliest memory I had of you, but like, it was a very early on in our friendship where you told me about the Jesus crazy thing. And We've been friends. I keep throwing around like 15 years, but we've been friends longer than 15 years. It's been what? 2005.
I mean, it's been 2005, so that's 18.
18.
Yeah, that's
wow,
more than
almost 2 decades.
That's more than half our life.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think
that's nuts.
I think at one point, obviously at one point a few years ago, we celebrated like we've known each other longer than we've not known each other.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
So now from here on out, until death do us part, then that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
we've known each other longer than we've not known each other.
So this is what I was gonna say to that. Is I've been saying that I call them Mata-isms because you have a lot that have just become part of my vocabulary, just my normal vocabulary, and then I start saying it so often that the people in my inner circle, family, friends, whomever,
like what the
well they know they know, and then they start saying it, and then because it just becomes part of like a thing, like it just becomes like part of your language.
Part of you,
So there's times where I'll be with like random people, and I'll say a Mata-ism, and they'll be like, "What is that?" And you forget because you say it so often that you think everybody knows it.
Right? They should know it. Are they listening to the podcast?
Which is so. What I'm saying is that these little like Jesus crazy, like I say that, and it's cool, like how. A, how long we've been friends. B, what I mean to say is I am so happy for this podcast because we can finally share these isms and stories that we both share.
These isms are going to end up on a shirt.
Imagine
a Jesus crazy on a shirt.
But you and I have
I'd
so
love
many.
to send like at least 10% back home. I think that'd be so cool.
We have so many together, so many different quotes and sayings. You and I have.
You have some sayings too.
I know, I probably do.
You have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Even today I could have sworn you said something. I'm like, what? When I walked into the door, you said something.
I always say something stupid. I don't know what I
don't know, but it's funny you mentioned that because, us being from Illinois, like we never knew we had an accent. I still to this day I don't think we have an accent.
Actually, I want to ask everybody: do you think either of us have an accent, one way or the other?
Yeah, like obviously it's different. Like I'll get back to my original point, but since I've been dabbling in the Mexican community, like with the Halo stuff that I've been doing, like I've really noticed and realized all the different accents and dialects of like Mexico. So there's just it's crazy. Like everyone speaks Spanish, but every little region, whether you're from the north, from the center, from the south, from the indigenous areas, from the coastal areas, a lot of these people, like, they can distinguish which state they're from, which region they're from. And it's funny because they can do the same thing here in the U.S. But for whatever reason, I just feel like we don't have an accent. Like, what do you mean? No, this is how everyone speaks English. Like, when I watch the news, when I watch TV, when I watch movies, I feel like they're speaking like me. Right. Unless they speak with, like, a really... like deep, like a southern accent, like a southern slang, or like that New England sounding, like kind of British English sounding. But even like California, like I don't really feel like people have an accent out here.
There is. I mean,
oh, is that you, DK? No, okay.
That was Siri.
Dang, you're just trying to call my ex. Yeah, I'm sorry too. What are you doing?
Yeah, you gotta check. You gotta
block them up. Nia, I'm like, what the hell? No, California is different. Yeah, so I'm talking about different accents and stuff like that. But I just don't really feel like we have anything like that.
We do. I mean, here's the thing: the stereotype for where we're from Chicago, there's a very thick, like a Chicago, like it has a kind of like a Polish, little German kind of dialect. It's a mix of different things. But I never felt like I was that extreme, like that stereotype of Chicago guy, or like a thick Italian or this and that. But yeah, we do sound different. Like I can pick out somebody from California easy in a lineup.
Well, I mean, this is why I bring it up,
or East Coast, or
This is why I bring it up because I've been living out here for about 2.5 years now, and even like how I text or if I'm on a call or whatever, like people from back home, they're like, you changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like, I mean, because it's kind of like with the group of people I've been hanging around, like where I live now, you know, like this last weekend we went to the Foo's Gone Wild show in at the YouTube theater, but like I got introduced to like the Foo community, the Foo community, and I've been saying a lot of Fooisms, like what's up Foo, you know, dang, like you're on a sick one, or like, you know, I've been doing the whistle even more than
Yeah, you got me doing the whistle now too.
So like I feel like and that's like the whole cholo, like at least for like the Hispanic community, we don't really have that in Chicago. Like in Chicago, like yeah, you know, you're Mexican, but you're not really a cholo, you're not a Chicano, like you don't really embrace the Mexican American side of you. You know, like I grew up watching movies like Blood In, Blood Out, American Me, Selena. Like those are all movies that really like touched about what it meant to be a Mexican growing up in the U.S. and how it was different. Like you're not from here when you're over there, or you know what I mean. You're not Mexican when you're in Mexico, and you're not American when you're here. So it's like, what the hell am I? You know, and over there we didn't really talk about that because we're so far away from Mexico. But because here in California we're so close, it's just that like you don't really know what you are. But now my friends are like, damn, like you really switched up. Like you're from California now. You know, like they can sense. So I think my accent or the way I speak English has already changed. So if I did have an accent, I don't have one now. I don't have a Midwest accent no more. I'm a Chicano now.
See, I think it's because I've been around you so much that I haven't noticed like when they say you changed. I don't know if I see like there's other things I see
for
you
the better, right?
Yeah. like
Come
I'm
on,
not, you've grown, but what I'm saying, like your personality wise, like I haven't seen the change, but I've noticed there's like new words in your rotation.
Right. There's always new words in my rotation.
Which then I start picking up. Yeah. And then everyone around me is like, where's that from?
Who's this guy hanging out with? Yeah, exactly. Who's this inside source?
With some cholo.
Yeah, right. Like I can see you like hanging around with like a group of like cholos, and you like, look in the movie Blood In, Blood Out. I mean, this is like really light skinned guy, and who's like, I forget now if he's Mexican or not in the movie, but anyways, like I can see you filling in like perfectly into the cholo community. And you can lie 100% and be like, oh yeah, soy Mexicano. And they'll believe you, bro. You got the hat. You got the mustache. You'll hit them with the I mean, that's all you need. You can easily blend in.
I can slide in under the radar.
You'd be like, damn, this fool invited to the carne asadas. And little do they know, you're going to pull up to the place with the carne asada already made. Like, they don't know that you can cook. Like, so, like, I feel like you already...
What did I make for you during Christmas? It was pozole.
I made pozole.
Yeah.
And I told my mom. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
I told my mom. I'm like, this fool made pozole. This fool made pozole was better than yours. It was no. It was your good, bro. Okay. It was amazing, man. And talking about pozole, I got to give a shout out to my homie Tony, man. This is the second time I shout him out already, but his mom's pozole, bro. So the pozole you made was like a red pozole. You made it with it. And my mom, every pozole I've ever had in my life was with a red pozole. Green? Tony's mom makes like a white pozole and a green pozole. And the toppings are like, because they're from a different part of Mexico. And I was never exposed to that. But like, shout out to Tony's mom, man. Like, she would invite us sometimes she would just treat us. Kind of like when your dad would like, let's say he treated us to like ribs, or he'd make something like out of the blue. Like there was the crazy rotations we were into, which were out of the blue to anybody. Yeah. But then he would make the stuff that's like this is special.
Yeah,
you know,
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So she'd be like, "Hey, tell your friends come over. I made a chicken Alfredo." Fuck, dude. Oh my god, bro. Because she lives in Mexico for the most part now, but if she's ever back in town and you're in town and I'm in town, if all the three Triforces line up, I'll be like, "Yo, Tony, we gotta come through. You either gotta try the Alfredo, the pozole, and something that I have yet to try, which she's offered me, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I should.
What is it?
But they're called Chapulines.
Okay.
So they're like fried, maybe even like dry aged like insects, like little bugs that they eat in Mexico.
Oh,
like little grasshoppers.
They put little like spice and powder on them.
Yeah, they put like limon, lime, salt, chili. You know, maybe a little bit of sauce.
You wouldn't do it?
I haven't to this day, but hey, Joe Rogan said it's one of the best sources of protein, and if we were to ever like run out of like protein, that would be what we run to. So, I mean, he swears by them. Obviously, it was in his diet like growing up. It was known in his family.
Just bugs.
They eat.
Straight up bugs.
Yeah, like straight up chapulines, straight up bugs. I don't know.
You know what? I feel like at this point, we should do a daily check or an episode check with me. Have I played Tears of the Kingdom?
Have you played Tears of the Kingdom?
The answer is no.
No.
Christian,
It's still in the same spot.
No. Here, okay. Notice something.
And I know you moved it because you uploaded a picture on Instagram today.
Yeah.
Which, shout out to the Instagram and go like all the photos. And you took a picture, finally, of your dinosaur paintings that I told you to talk about last episode.
Well, okay.
I'm glad that you did that. When I saw that, I wish I could like it 100 more times. I was like, man, that shit's sick.
Yeah, give me some love, man. Yeah. So, okay.
And I noticed that was flat. I'm like, he moved it. He maybe finally played it.
You really have a good
yeah, I'm picking up on your crazy
you
move
something.
Senses.
When you stay with me that brief, before you've got your own place, I would come home and I would, before I would
tell him the Hulk story.
Before I would, what?
Tell him the Hulk story.
Hulk's? Wait. Okay, there's a tree right now. Of every branch is
still here.
No. Every branch is a different conversation I've wanted to start. But you're moving at a speed I just can't fuck with right now.
I can't fluctuate right now.
Okay. So, first thing. Tears of the Kingdom. Do you notice anything different other than the way it's set up there?
Is that like the gamepad finally there?
Well, no. I took the wrapping off.
Oh. Okay.
So I have a little mini story about that real quick.
Okay.
So, it's been out for weeks. People have probably beaten it 4 or 5 times at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been so busy, I haven't had the time, and I want to sit down and enjoy it. I don't want to play it for 5 minutes and say, okay, I'm going to put it away. So the other day I had a moment, and I could finally play my game. So I unwrapped it. I was so happy. It has that new game smell.
Yeah.
I put it in the system. I lay down, and my system's it's dead. And I'm like, what?
The worst.
I thought it was fully charged.
Your Switch just like
my heart was so crushed, and then I was busy, and then it's like a week later, haven't played, and then so I posted a picture of a dinosaur that I painted. I made it look retro,
realistic.
No, I didn't. I made it look like
the 93 version.
93 toy, yeah. I am going to make another one that looks photorealistic. But yeah, check it out. I will be posting probably more stuff. I've been making these Indiana Jones props and stuff too.
I know, bro. I feel like I'm in Temple of the Doom right now. And what's the new one called?
Dial of Destiny.
We're going to see that, huh?
Yeah, we're going to a fan event at the El Capitan Theater.
I mean, I'd love to take you guys there with us, but you can't!
It's gonna be fun. I'm really excited for this movie.
Remember
I love these films.
our movie reviews? I wonder if people like our movie reviews. I know, I used to tell you that my circle of friends back home,
mm-hmm.
they'd always make fun of us.
Yeah.
Because And I was gonna make fun of you. Not make fun of you, but it was funny to me because
oh wait, are you talking about the Jurassic?
Yeah,
I did that on purpose.
Okay,
I actually that's an inside joke between Christian and I, because okay, I'm gonna jump and tell the story.
Yeah.
So we would do these reviews way back in the day, like when ChrisCrossMedia first started, and we had like Princess and the Frog. I think we did Iron Man 2 and maybe a few others. I think Pirates of the Caribbean. But no matter what, we had like a ChrisCross rating scale.
Like 1 to 5 stars.
That changed every single time. It was never consistent. Whether it was 10 out of 10, whether it was 5 out of 5. But Christian and I, no matter what movie, no matter what movie we saw, it was always 5 out of 5.
Best movie ever.
10 out of 10.
So all my friends would just be like, yo, what's the point of watching these ChrisCross reviews if it's always a 5 out of 5? It's always the best movie ever. So, like, they already knew. Like, I told them, like, yo, let's go watch this movie. What, it was the best movie ever? Yeah, it was.
Oh my God, dude, I'm crying.
So when I saw you upload the short of the drink, mind you almost died. I thought I lost you that day. Look at this dude swallowing dry ice like it's something to do. And then he hits it with the 10 out of 10. I was like, nah. This dude hitting him with the throwback. Best drink ever. But then today you hit it with a 7.5. So I was like, okay, he's back to reality. That's why I'm like, hey, I can call it right now, folks. Dial of Destiny's gonna be the best movie ever. You don't need to go and see any other reviews, bro. It's done.
Oh my God, dude. Let me breathe. Let me breathe for a second.
Stop talking.
Oh, let him cook. Let him cook.
Hey, yo, hold up. Hold up, let him cook. Well, you see, what is it, Toy Story?
Toy Story.
It's, who's stopping him, like Sora?
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, let him cook.
So...
But damn, like, I didn't realize we were doing that, though.
I didn't know that
like, to me, honestly, like, at the time when we were doing those reviews, man, they did feel like the best movies ever.
Because you come out of the movie, like, super hyped, you know?
You know?
Like, I remember seeing Iron Man 2, and we were so excited for that.
We didn't watch bad movies. Like, hey,
no.
We didn't watch
We
bad
only
movies.
review movies we like.
And it just turned out to be the best.
It was a banger, dude. Dude, that's so funny. But yeah, so I posted these 2 drink reviews. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something hopefully we develop a little bit with the 2 of us down the line. We're gonna do some cool stuff with that. But the first one, it was a good drink. It was this like volcano tiki mug. This is at Universal Studios Hollywood at the Jurassic Park section. And they had this tiki
What's the
drink.
bar called? Isla Nublar?
Isla Nublar.
Yeah, Isla Nublar.
Isla Nublar, which is a pun on Isla Nublar. Mm-hmm. Nublar. In the Jurassic Park. That's where the theme park takes place, is set on. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so it was really, really good. And there's a little compartment on the bottom and it unscrews and they put these little cubes of dry ice. And it bubbles up and it's a cool drink. And I would say maybe it was like a 9 out of 10. No, it's in that range. It was good.
It was a good drink.
It was a good drink. And I'm rating also the mug too, the whole package.
Yeah.
But I purposely said 10 out of 10 just to make Christian laugh because now we joke all the time, like with each other, like, yo, what'd you think of that movie when we go see like a film or whatever, and you turn to me and like 10 out of 10.
I mean, I do it too, just to like. I know, like, the people back home are listening to that, and they get a good chuckle out of it. Yeah. And that's why I love doing these podcasts. You show me a message we got, a comment we got on one of our podcasts where people are finding out that we're doing this thing. And, now we're on this new channel, a dedicated channel.
Well, here's the thing. We're recording this. The video hasn't gone live that we have a second channel.
Yeah.
So for all you and I know, you and I are talking, and nobody's
listening.
Right now.
Well, we have 2 subscribers. Oh, I know we have 3. Me, you, and you. I don't know who else, but we have 3 subscribers right now. And maybe we'll have 100 at the end of this one. I don't know who knows, but it's just cool, like, seeing all this happen, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I like that people like the podcast and people are tuning in. That's why I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss a Friday. Like, we gotta upload every Friday, no matter what. Even if it's,
yeah, man.
even if someone gets the cornflakes, I'm in the cornflu again. We just gotta jump in and give this podcast.
Crazy.
Jesus Christ. What do you mean you got the cornflu?
Hey, what you talking about?
You got the cornflu? Nah, homie. Nah, I'm just a sick one.
What I've really enjoyed is, because like you were saying, I've been we record, we are doing our best to make sure that we're here for everybody every single Friday. And at the same time, we're also posting a bunch of stuff on ChrisCross. I've been editing like nonstop, trying to get at least some piece of content, whether it's a YouTube short or a YouTube video, up on the page. Excuse me.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Like, let's kind of like,
break it down.
Yeah, like let's just kind of let people know, and this also applies to, like, last week you asked me a question about giving people advice on if they wanted to become an influencer, become a content creator. And I think this is what we're doing right now is a good piece of advice. I mean, but it's more for, obviously, if, let's say, you're a little bit more established already, you kind of been in here for a while and you have an idea of branching off and doing something else. I think what we're doing here, though we kind of touched on it on last episode, you just kind of give them the rundown on why something like this is a good idea. Not only like for your brand or for what you want to do, but for that offshoot, like what this is, what the podcast is, how we're kind of modeling them. Just put them on game.
All right, class.
You don't gotta let them know everything. Just gotta
get your notebooks out.
Sharpen
they pencils.
Yeah, sharpen them up.
Get them ready. No, I mean, the reality is, if let's say I make a channel and I talk about gardening, okay, and that's my prime focus, and you've built a community, or maybe you're starting to build a community. If you start interjecting, Call of Duty gameplay into that, right? From gardens and duty, that's the mix. What you don't want to do is give your audience something that you've built or something you're trying to build, things that they don't necessarily want to see. So, if I'm into gardening, I have no care in the world whether or not, you're getting headshots in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And, you have to then say to yourself, well, if you want to do this other thing, for your algorithm to work, for your community to be satisfied and happy, and for, just the health of the overall channel, you need to either offshoot that or kill that dream. Mm-hmm. So what we felt, even though these episodes of The Attic very much are related to the things that we discuss and have been doing on ChrisCross for several years, whether it's things that we are interested in or pop culture things or what have you, it's a longer format. It's sometimes it's very different from what we, in terms of like metadata. It's very different than a lot of the things we did in the past. And for us to not oversaturate ChrisCrossMedia, which is now what we're viewing as the hub channel, we wanted the podcast to grow organically on its own merits, as opposed to having to work against the already established ChrisCrossMedia algorithm. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to separate the two. And also it's just easier, I think, for people to find. So when they go search The Attic and they come across ChrisCrossMedia, there can be a lot of brand confusion there. So to separate the two, I think it just made more sense. And also it's just easier to, I think, listen to. The channel almost acts as a playlist in itself.
Right.
And I think ChrisCrossMedia, I mean, these two things are going to work in unison, though, because if we cut out clips that we want to highlight from the podcast, or if we want to do the YouTube short breakdowns like I've been doing and animating them kind of, those will all still live on the ATTICC channel, but will also live on ChrisCrossMedia. And sometimes there'll be some exclusive content on ChrisCrossMedia and vice versa. But the ATTICC is the ATTICC, and all the long form episodes will live here. But at ChrisCrossMedia, that's where our short form content will live. Our video essays, whether we do some sketches like we did in the past, and some of the other ideas that you and I haven't necessarily announced yet, but we want to develop in the future that fall in line with the ChrisCrossMedia branding. So to kind of round it back up really quick, if you have a lot of interest, so I know a lot of YouTubers, they tried a lot of different things, and I have a lot of friends who do several different things, and they're having trouble finding that identity. When building a channel, you only want to ever focus on no more than 2 things. So anything beyond that, you're going to have a lot of issues working against your own algorithm, and you become your own worst enemy.
You're like trying to swim against the current.
Yeah.
And the current is just keep getting stronger and stronger, and everything you add to your channel is like putting floaties on you. Now, and you're just making it harder for yourself.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, if you have a lot of interest and you get a lot out of creating content, and you're just posting things to post things, by all means, go ahead and do that.
Do it, yeah.
But if you're, and I'm not saying like the goal is to just get subscribers or get views, but if you're creating content, you want to make sure that it is accessible to people that are trying to watch your content.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're creating content that you know is going to benefit people, that you know is good, you want that to reach as many people as possible, not only for, like you're saying, not only for you to feel good that like, because it feels cool seeing your subscriber count, your view count go up. It feels cool knowing that there's a lot of people watching you and all that. But as I mentioned before, do what you're doing because you love it.
Yeah. So
it feels good knowing that you're putting out this knowledge for as many people to see. If you, like you know how to do a mean painting. Like, you got amazing paintings and drawings and all that.
Thank you.
And let's say there's an aspiring artist out there that, maybe they've been drawing for like 10, 15 years, and for whatever reason, they just don't get it right. Like, the idea is there's a little bit of improvement, but like, I don't know, maybe their shading is off. Maybe their outlines, their
line work is not that great.
Yeah, like the line work is not that great.
Yeah.
And like maybe you're just like, so they'll like look at what you put out, or like the knowledge that you're putting out, and you want to put out that video to go out to as many people as possible. Because if you do that and you accomplish that, maybe you'll reach out to that one person that really needs it, But if you're doing that, swimming against the current, and we're uploading this podcast per se, and by the way, the only reason why we branched off is because this podcast was doing so good on ChrisCrossMedia that we kind of were like, okay, people really like this. We kind of like shot it at the wall. I know it's an idea we had, but we shot it at the wall. It stuck, but we're like, okay, let's put it on its own channel for that very reason, because it's picking up. Let's give it its own organic growth and let it reach out to as many people as possible. Because if we left it on ChrisCrossMedia, the people that were gonna listen to it and we're already enjoying it, they're probably already here listening to us right now.
Right.
And then that's just adding more fuel to the fire and getting our message out.
Well, the other thing is like, there's also so many things that we want to do on ChrisCrossMedia that we, I look at our weekly schedule, and like, we want to have these little promos for the.
Yeah, we're gonna oversaturate ChrisCrossMedia.
Well,
with all the stuff we want to do.
Yes, I don't want to oversaturate it, and it would just be so ATTICC dominated that like, I noticed in the last couple of weeks, I have like these scrapped videos lined up, and I'm like, where do I insert this?
Where do you put it in?
Where do you put it in? Yeah.
If you put it in, on a Thursday or Friday, now you're kind of like, well, now you're killing your own ATTICC.
Killing the ATTICC.
Or ATTICC is killing this.
Exactly.
So it's like.
So that's why that was also I'm like, you know what? Like, we have all these cool ideas. I don't want to keep pushing this and pushing that. Let's just separate the two. And, we're all holding hands.
And like I said, that's like a perfect way to do it. So like, if you're a YouTuber out there and you already established, you've been doing it for a while, And as you know, you'll either A, burn out, you'll either B, change like as a person and you have different interests. You know, this is the perfect way to do it. You know, still continue to use your channel.
Yeah.
But if you want to try something else, throw it on your main channel. If it sticks, then, you know, but just keep going. If this is one way of doing it. It's not end all be all, obviously, but I think it's a good tip.
And that's the thing. It's like we ChrisCrossMedia, as I was saying, we are describing it as the hub because we have some other ideas that we're going to introduce on ChrisCross that will either remain on ChrisCross or will also peg off and be another spoke on the ChrisCross wheel. Yeah. But we have it's cool because you and I have talked about wanting to do a second channel since the beginning. Like we had so many ideas. And like finally, I feel like we're at a point where it makes sense for some of these ideas that we have. That, you know, now like it's the fact that we have the attic is a big deal because we've talked about for a very long time to just have a second channel. Now that we have it, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just like breaking the seal. Yeah, you know now ChrisCrossMedia, and I'm so glad we picked that name because it can be anything. Mm-hmm. It can be anything. At its core, it's ChrisCross. Yeah. You know, but ChrisCrossMedia is the main hub. And, you know, it's right now, I would say, like the scrapped episodes you've made for the past 3-4 years.
Longer than
killing it. Longer.
This is why, the only reason I'm saying this is it's crazy to me how long it's been. The first episode went up in 2016.
Really?
So, yeah. So I was.
Dang, that's like 7 years. 7 years. Dang, that's even longer than that.
It's crazy. But yeah, I really enjoy Scrapped, and the one thing that I want to do is return a little bit because the show actually just like in its tone and the style it shifted and changed just organically with, you know, how I was feeling at the time or just like the bandwidth that I had between, you know, like working on stuff and then doing this. It changed over time, but how it was originally where there was a very, very distinct certain voice, and kind of like inside jokes that I had with a lot of you all watching that show. So I kind of want to return it back to the style of the earlier, like I call it like the first season of Scrapped, and make them a little bit more long form.
I think people will like that, you know, and I feel like for like go backing on ChrisCrossMedia for that channel, I think it would be cool to just scrapped could be like, okay, this is where it stops, and everything prior to should still remain on this channel, like no matter what. You know, if we ever want to do like an offshoot, like or whatever
for Scrapped.
No. I'm saying like let's say we do like a song remix, okay, or something like that. All right. I don't see us ever doing like, you know,
a music channel.
Like there was a like on BET there was a show called The Basement, you know, and they used to do like rap stuff on there. Like I don't see us ever having like The Basement. You know, we already have the attic. We don't need the basement. But like if we ever want to do like music stuff or like stuff like that, like I think it should still remain on ChrisCross. Like if we ever decide to do a Let's Play again, just for nostalgia's sake, like we'll just keep it on ChrisCross, you know, because that's already like established. Like people, that's how they knew us. That's what they expect. Anything that people like expect you for, like I think we're not gonna do like an offshoot. You know, we tried we did do a podcast for a little bit, and those episodes are still up. If people want to listen to those, but like, I think it's fair to say like you and I have had so much fun doing these. Yeah. That like this deserves its own channel, and I'm excited for both ChrisCrossMedia and the Attic, and then also like what's to come, you know, because we have so many ideas. Like I think you already know, like what the next offshoot's gonna be. Yeah. And I can see us, at least with those ideas we have right now that are concrete, that are probably by the end of this year, it's going to happen. Or maybe even early next year. We're going to have like a trio of channels that are just doing their thing, you know, symbiotically. all working together, and the main hub being ChrisCrossMedia.
And shout out again to our TikTok fan base over there. We're growing that steadily.
It's growing.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that algorithm is kicking in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love when when you post a video. I really like TikTok. I think it has its negative effects, you know, but it also, like anything, it also has its positive. I'm glad, like, I really like how their algorithm works. You know, if you like certain stuff and you interact with it, it really does replicate that stuff that other creators are doing. And it's helped create a lot of people's careers, people that just started on TikTok and people that are now using it, you know, and it's cool. Like, last episode we talked about people that, like, near the end we talked about people that we'd like to finally hit 1 million, right?
Yes.
And someone that popped up in my feed recently is someone that has yet to hit 1 million subs. And when I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, man, I'd love for this guy to hit 1 million subs.
Wait, I think I know you're gonna go.
Who?
Is it the?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
No, I don't know.
Again, I'm doing charades.
You're gonna have, you're gonna have to
do you
tell
know?
me who
Do you know
that
what?
is.
Do you know what this is?
Dealing cards?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, but don't say.
No, don't say.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
I don't. You're gonna have to tell me off stream. But no, this person we met at VidCon, and he goes by Andre the Black Nerd.
He hasn't hit 1 million?
He has yet to hit 1 million.
Oh.
I don't think. And he showed up on my For You page. And at least for me, like, because the pages I'm running now are I don't have, like, personal accounts.
He's like legacy YouTube. He's old
like,
school.
But
no, I'm saying like that's
that's
a
good.
compliment.
But like right now I'm just following like gaming channels and like gaming related stuff, Halo related stuff. Like I
want to talk about that.
On that, you know,
I want
and
to talk
like,
about that in a second.
I want to have my own personal one so I can like follow people because like I know if I interact. Like, because you know the algorithm. So, like, I don't want to interact with someone that, like, really has no connection to me. And if I want my videos to reach the people as much as for that. And that goes for, like, anything that we're doing, which is why it's good to have different channels. But I watch his stuff, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad that he's, like, popping off on TikTok. Mm-hmm. You know, all his, like, Ninja Turtle reviews and Nintendo and everything he does. I mean, he's the black nerd, you know? Anything, like, related to nerdy is gonna be on there. So I'm glad that he's posting on TikTok. I'm glad that he's growing on there, and hopefully TikTok is that like he finds those kids that are like they love this nostalgia, this love this 80s stuff, and they pushed his like YouTube channel over 1 million subs. That's one guy I'm like really rooting for. I know we ran into him one VidCon for sure, and I don't think I like took a picture. Maybe I ran into him. I think, no, I did. I ran into him. I wasn't with you at the time. And I talked to him for a little bit, but I didn't get a picture. but that's one dude that I'm rooting for, you know, to piggyback off of last episode. But you said there's something you wanted to talk about.
Well, okay, yes. So you mentioned something interesting. So last week I resubscribed to Smosh. Because it's not like I didn't like them anymore. It's just that, you know, this is the conversation. This is why I'm bringing this up. Mm-hmm. I feel like our watch style has changes and has these ebbs and flows when it comes to social media or digital media. Mm. Like generally, like it's different, and that's the thing. It's different than movies. I feel like I still like watching cartoons. I still like watching like action adventures and fantasy and sci-fi and stuff like that. That doesn't necessarily change. I think over time you start liking different things, but for the most part, the movies or the books or the video games that I liked as a kid, I still like today. But because you absorb so much digital media, I feel like it's very easy because of the oversaturation to get bored of something and then migrate very quickly to like the next thing. So what I want to ask you is, because what's interesting about our generation specifically is we lived a world where there wasn't social media. We lived in a world where there wasn't like YouTube.
Right.
So I know what I was into watching on YouTube when it first started, and I've seen an evolution of the content that I've absorbed over the course of 15 something years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so interesting because I used to be really into like Smosh and like that type of YouTube humor.
Yeah.
And then I got super bored of it, and I just didn't like it anymore. And then I moved on to like vlogs, and then this and that, and like now these days I'm like watching like guys paint toys and guys like building, like making their basements look like the Millennium Falcon, and like toy reviews and movie discussions and speculations. Whereas like,
yeah, I used to watch a lot of movie reviews back in the day. I don't really anymore.
I do. I watch them all the time. But like, there was a time where like I was watching like a lot of like I go through a phase where I'm just super into cooking videos. Like that's all I watch.
Yeah.
Or I want to watch, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like just gaming reviews and stuff like that. So what patterns have you noticed, or have you been even conscious of that? And I'm curious to hear like what have you at home listening, like what have you like started watching and like gravitated towards like where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. I've definitely changed. Like I still say like the original like 3-5 channels that I started watching, I still watch to this day.
Same.
Like Philly
100%.
D, Smosh, Soldier Knows Best,
Djibouti Dubs,
Djibouti. Like I still watch MKBHD, and then anyone that I don't watch now from the early days is because they stopped creating. I used to watch a lot of Equals 3, no longer uploads. And all the people from the station, Game Station, used to watch them all the time.
I used to religiously watch the Shaytards.
The Shaytards, I remember watching the Shaytards, but like, I'd say that like they fell off, but over time I still just watch them, and I've always had like gaming in my heart. So like I'd watch.
Do you remember Cassim G?
Cassim G.
Yeah.
So like that goes like to the station. All those guys from that roster.
Which we were a part of.
Yeah, the Game Station, one of the original channels on there.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to that. But it eventually turned like into you saying like cooking stuff. I got really into like how to grill, how to smoke, how to really do that kind of stuff, with the fancy meats, especially like working like at a meat factory. I had access to like really good beef, really good steaks, and I wanted to make sure that I was cooking them right. And then I was watching movie reviews, but then like that kind of changed because I didn't like getting spoiled, because it wasn't like that back in the day. Like trailers were trailers.
Mm-hmm.
They really got you excited and enticed to go see a movie. But trailers turned into something kind of like the music industry, like where you got to drop a song and then you got to drop another one like a month or two later, because the song that you dropped is like no longer relevant.
Did you bring up something that's so interesting? Because one thing that I hate is that there's a lot of things I actually hate about the internet.
Mm-hmm.
How much I love it, how much I use it, yes, but at the same time, I used to love the days when you wanted to know what was coming out in the coming year. You had to go to the theater and you had to experience a movie, get a ticket, buy your bucket of popcorn, and then seeing the trailers meant something.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh, there's a new Harry Potter movie coming out, or there's this, that coming out. Now it drops online, you see it instantly, you go, oh cool, and then you just go to the next video, right? Yeah. And that's the problem, is like marketing is like, oh my gosh, back in the day they would put maybe like 1 or 2 TV spots, and then they'd put the theatrical trailer, the teaser trailer, and then the theatrical trailer.
Yeah.
And that was it. Now they have to have they're like 20 TV spots, this and that, and they have to make it different like every time.
Trailers,
because it's so accessible. They have to be so they have to keep grabbing things from the movie.
Yeah,
and then next thing you know, the whole movie's out online before you go see it.
That's why I don't watch trailers anymore. That's why I don't watch movie reviews anymore, because it kills it for me, And that's why I hate when people ruin for me. Like my friends know what I'm into. My friends know what I'm like. The last thing, and this is like a PSA to all my friends, any in real life friends that I have. This is a PSA to you guys, and I don't hate you guys or girls. I don't hate any of you, but just if you know there's something I like, A, yes, I probably already saw whatever it is you're sending to me, and B, don't send it to me because maybe I didn't see it, and because I don't want to see it. You know, like right now there's a Ninja Turtles movie coming out. I think it's called like Turtles Mayhem, something with Mayhem Madness. Mm-hmm. Don't send me anything. I don't want to know. Like you sent me something, but I already knew Baxter Stockman is in there. But
who's
Baxter Stockman? Mr. Pollos Locos.
Yeah, Gustavo Fring.
But I mean, like trailers or like, oh my god, did you see this leak? Hey, did you see the secret ending? Like, there's certain stuff know, you just don't show to people. Yeah. It's like you don't give a drug addict some drugs. Like
the thing that I hate is when people they go, it's like the credit scene or like at the end, like some sort of big reveal. Snapchat it. Yeah. And it's like, what the hell is this? I don't need this. What are you doing?
Snapchat it, Twitter, it's everywhere, and it's like, that's why, like, if it's something that I really, really want to see, oh my god.
Now the opposite. You know what I hate? When a movie's been out for like 10 years or like 5 years, and they still say, "Oh, spoiler alert!"
Like me last episode. When you were trying to spoil, you were trying to spoil The Office. I was like, spoiler alert. No, great. I've never seen The Office.
At that point, it's like it's on you.
I know it's my fault.
It's on you for not. But,
it's my fault, huh?
Oh, it's my fault.
I haven't seen all The Office. It's my fault, huh?
It's your fault. So you haven't seen it. You should definitely give it a shot.
I've seen some of The Office episodes, but it's funny that like when we were doing those skits, and that goes to like I remember doing those skits, and again my friends thought they were so funny, and they see that we're uploading like all these Office episodes, and they're trying to like quote the series and I'm there looking at them like, dude, I've never seen that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like,
so
what?
They thought you were like the biggest fan because
they're like, what? Like, so you're doing an Office skit and like you never watched The Office?
We got to give context here. Yeah. So it was the end of our senior year, and there was this talent competition. There was a music category, there was a video category, and there was like an onstage like performing category or something like that. And Christian and I, at the time, we were posting on our YouTube, or we're creating content, and we submitted a song for the music category, which won, which upset so many people because there was actual bands that were practicing for.
But it's because we had the clout.
But that was the thing. Like, there's actual musicians, and you and I, we had a song.
Never played an instrument.
That was. It was
Jamaican Blizzard, right?
Yeah, it was not that, we're not musicians, and it won. But then we had the video category too, which we won too. Yeah. We kind of swept the competition. Yeah. Had we did a live action thing,
and we ended up like on like that yearbook,
the
or
yearbook
like
and everything.
DVD, like people could listen to our stuff or something.
But what we did was we made a parody of The Office where I was like the Michael Scott character, and Christian was kind of a mix of a few different characters, but he was essentially wanting to work for my company, and he was interviewing for the job. And it was not a paper company, but it was a paper plane.
Paper plane company.
It was a company that sold paper planes. As if that's a huge market. But I don't think these exist anywhere on ChrisCrossMedia.
No, I think they were on ATTICC.
They were on our original channel that's no longer exists. But we should. I think after this, I will post it on the channel, or at least on our Instagram TV or something.
We gotta screen them, make sure they're still acceptable for today's audience.
I'm pretty sure they are. No, they're great, and they're really fun. And that was like our first, like, I don't know, I feel like our first really elevated sketch that we ever did.
Yeah, it was definitely something that, it was over the top.
I feel like that was like the birth of ChrisCrossMedia.
We had costumes. We talked about what we were gonna do. We had different cuts. Yep. Edited it all together. Then you put together that intro.
And then what was cool like a remake. We presented that in front of a live theater audience.
Yeah, and like, I was driving the other day, and I'm listening to some music, and I'm just like, man, like, I could do this. Like, I know I know I have a life story, like life stories and things that I've gone through and things that like I can create. And I was in the sauna and I was just like coming up with a beat, with different instruments, coming up with lyrics. And I'm like, dude, I think I want to write songs, and like I feel like I really want to put them out, like, because we've done music stuff before, you
Okay.
know.
Do you realize that we wrote the Super Mario rap together?
Yeah.
I know I don't remember exactly who wrote which line, but the one you perform, your Luigi bar,
My Luigi bar
is so ingrained in my mind and in my family's mind too, because it's so iconic.
No, I think I wrote that. I think I wrote that one.
Can you please
The Luigi bar, like right off the top of the dome,
off the dome, man?
Let me see if I can remember. I don't know if I remember this. Now, give me a beat. Give me a beat. Come on, maestro. Now look here, it's a me, Mr. Luigi. Making money on Nintendo's never been so easy. My life's been sinking in some deep quicksand. You can cop on my games using only one hand. I'm Chris's brother. People think that I'm lazy, but it's okay. I got my girl named Daisy. I'm wearing overalls and my black hat. When I bounce on the Koopa goes splat. There we go.
That sounded a little different.
I had to remix a little bit, you know.
I feel like I'm waking up. I'm like, wait, I'm in the wrong multiverse playing.
Dude,
Yeah,
I still remember like making that in GarageBand on the Mac.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, it was like we stayed up all night getting the different instruments. Like we used it that one time,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we maybe used it a different time to make a different beat. Like when we were working on the
oh yeah, the
secret charades. Yeah, you guys can't see right now.
You did a lot of movements there.
You know.
We'll have to tell that story because that's something that we're gonna make.
Yeah.
We have a really cool idea for this thing that there's. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
No,
there are projects that we started like 10, 12 years ago that never finished. I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
But we're going to be making at some point, and there's one idea that's going to be so interesting because we started filming it and then we're going to finish it.
Yeah, man. And I'd love to, like, we've talked about different things that we want to do, like, you know, when we get this big or when we have this much, whatever, we want to do this, we want to do that, but we want to do this. But the little kid in me, being the little kid that used to like burn CDs for people, that like the little kid that grew up like singing songs, like doing karaoke, watching my parents, my dad sing songs, you know, watching some of my family members, like there's another side of the Mata family, like they're musicians. Like a lot of my dad's brothers are musicians. They play the guitar, they sing. I shout out to like my cousins out in Mexico. I forget their name of their band group right now, so they're gonna kill me. But they started like a little band, and they've been like opening for some like big bands in Mexico, and like they're doing their thing, and they have a Facebook page and everything. If I find it, I'll leave it in the comments below. If Chris lets me post it, I'll let you guys go follow them. But they're blowing they're blowing up, and that makes me feel so good because coming from like a little ranch, no one ever thinks they're gonna make it. No one goes to school because they're like, what am I gonna do? They all just stick to their little farm life. But like, I've always been the kind of guy like I told you guys, follow your passion, just do it, and they're good at it. They're amazing musicians. And I asked my dad, like, Dad, why did you never like pick up the guitar? Why didn't you ever play some drums or the accordion? You know, my dad was more of like an athlete. He was the baseball star. He was the pitcher. You know, he was the dancer. He was the dude that had the riz. You know, he had the long mustache. Mm-hmm. So, like, he did his own thing, and I learned a lot from him. But then, like, I feel like there's also that, like, musician side of me that, like, is in my blood. And I really want to, like, write these songs and put them out there. They're going to be in Spanish. And I feel like I need that, like, Spanish guitar sound, you know?
Yes, I want to see you do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Adele.
You know what we should do?
I'm gonna be like the Mexican male Adele. That's gonna be me.
So this is what we're gonna do. All right. Oh my gosh. What was
Who's that? That wasn't Siri.
No, it's not Siri.
Are you cheating?
No.
Are you cheating on Siri?
I don't know who that was.
Was that an Android?
I think it was like Heavenly Gates open. It was like
Are
a
you
doorbell.
a green messenger?
What I was gonna say to you is we should hold you accountable. Everybody in the attic.
Oh man.
Every week we'll check in with you and say, hey, how much closer to your goal are you? Have you picked up a guitar? Have you written a song? It could be something as simple as, hey, I wrote one line of a lyric.
Oh shoot.
In a week. One week I wrote one line.
Hey, this is a good story. This is a good story, a good Mata story. I did pick up a guitar once.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know, to piggyback off that, like, I used to love playing Guitar Hero. And I was amazing at it. Like, expert. I try to FC every song, full complete, you know, get 100%, kill like a streak the whole time. And I remember, I think it was... Oh no.
My God. I knew he was...
Yo.
I knew it.
What happened?
You know how I knew Donkey Kong was here?
No.
I smelled him coming. I smelled... It smelled like ass and bananas, dude.
Hey, something happens for a reason. This is gonna have to wait for the next attic, man.
You're gonna make me wait?
This is a deep story, man. Unless you
your
want me to
guitar
tell it
story
right now.
Yeah, we'll hold it off to the next one.
I think
we a little bit
hold
more.
it off.
We'll keep that one music related. We should do a music related episode.
Yeah, thank you, DK.
You know what? I remember in a previous episode because I was doing like a re-listen recently after uploading everything over like on Spotify and stuff. Which check out the Spotify if you haven't already. Plug. You had mentioned we were like, oh, we should talk about our favorite books later, and do like a whole book episode. We never went back and did it. We didn't do it. I don't know why we didn't do it. We didn't do it. So what I want to do is talk about books and music next week. Literature.
We can try. Look, we can try to do it, but who knows?
Is it gonna happen?
Like today, honestly, I had an idea. We're gonna do this, and that, and the third. I don't think we did, but I think this was a great episode. And
we just kind of went with it.
I hope everyone enjoyed their stay here in the attic. Huh. Unfortunately, we gotta turn the lights off, go downstairs, and hit the hay. But next week we'll be here.
But before we go, I do have to mention our sponsor for today's episode.
Oh, of course, you have to. Shout them out.
So, if you like collecting, if you like saving money, there's a link in the description and pinned to the comments that will give you 10% off Entertainment Earth. And it's a cool website where you can do pre-orders of exclusive toys and action figures and statues and what have you. Or you can just buy from their huge catalog of IPs and companies that they work with. They get a lot of Hasbro exclusives, Gentle Giants, Mattel. I just recently bought some Indiana Jones Adventure Series figures from them. Every time Christian comes over, there's some new toy on my desk.
Always.
All thanks to Entertainment Earth. So definitely give them some love. That gives us some love. It helps us grow this channel and continue doing it for you all. And yeah, it was fun talking to everybody.
It was a great time, guys. We will see you guys next semana. Take care. Much love.
That's
My
Friday.
name is Christian.
You meant to say Friday.
And your name is Chris.
Oh yeah, I'm Chris. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Have just been ChrisCrossed
in the attic. Ooh, I like that. Get the outro music. You know, this is like the end credit scene
of what?
Of like a Marvel movie. You know,
keeps going.
This
they're
keeps
gonna wait.
going.
They're gonna wait for the secret ending.
It's like, oh my god, this is what's gonna happen next week.
Wait for the end of this episode for the secret story.
Wait,
we gotta.
You know what we should do? We should let's tell one more story.
One more story.
One more story. For those rebels who just continued.
Oh yeah.
They pressed on.
I don't know. What can we say? I'm kind of all storied out already. They're gonna have to come back next week. It's late. My mama's calling me.